Hey cats, what's happening? I just returned from my ride today on the Ultra. Been loving the bike, and there's a big difference between my 99 Fat Boy and this 2014 Ultra, but this thing's a dream. The Fat Boy's a better option depending on what I'm doing. If I'm just doing local stuff. I wouldn't call it a bar hopper because I don't hop bars anymore, but that's kind of like what the Fat Boy is to me. It's easy to jump on and off of, and it goes. But after running the Ultra, this thing really, 80 cubic inch, really lacks the power that 6-speed Ultra has. I'm going to do a review of the Ultra today and just tell you what kind of my thoughts on it, and what I think. First of all, it's a 2014 Ultra Limited CVO. So it is custom vehicle operations. As it says right there, CVO. You got this custom logo here. It kind of changes color, reflects in the sunlight. Kind of cool. The paint job, I believe, is called Maroon Typhoon. So you'll see it's got this almost like tiger stripe inlay in there. Some of the models had like a marble, so this is unique that it has that tiger stripe in there. I think in 2014 they had like 6 different options for paint jobs on these things. This thing has 110 cubic inch Screaming Eagle performance motor, and it really has the power to carry this machine. 6-speed transmission, and that makes all the difference in the world. I mean, I could probably pull the front wheel off the ground on. In fact, the one day I did, it jumped off the ground on me from a stop. I took off a little too fast, so I'm still, getting used to the bike, but I've got it pretty down. I'll show you some of the things on it. It does have LED lighting on it, and there's some custom light covers on this one. You'll notice this has the chrome, a little more custom luggage rack on the back than the general ones. It's got doesn't have the red tail light, it's got the smoke one on there. It's got the Reinhardt exhaust on there. Really good sound on the thing. When you jump on it, when you're out on the road or when you're on the highway, it's got a really good tone to it. And I've had other bikers comment on it and say, man, that thing sounds really good. And I agree, it has a really nice sound to it. Like I said, 6-speed transmission. I put the rocker shifter on there, so I like to shift up here by hitting my heel on this one and then shifting down by just pushing down on that. That's the way my Fat Boy is. That's how I prefer this. It makes shifting super easy. I don't have to stick my toe underneath there and lift up. Just sliding my heel back and clicking down on that is so simple, and it works pretty smoothly. It does have a very comfortable saddle seat. You'll see it's got a nice back here, plus it has lumbar. This lumbar support actually has 3 different levels you can set it. I have it set at the lowest one, so that hits right in the lower part of my back real comfortably. You can adjust it under here just by lifting this leather up. And there's a little screw there that can adjust the forward and backward on it, and then you squeeze these 2 levers together and lift it up or down. So that's how that works. The back seat, both seats are heated, and there's heat controls right here. You can do high or low heat on either, separately. Like, I don't have to have heat on this if she wanted heat back here. So they're separate controls, 2 separate controls there. And that works pretty nice. I haven't used the heated seats yet. I haven't had to. Right now, that seat's probably 150 degrees. You could fry an egg on that thing sitting out in the sun. But it's typical if you have a motorcycle and you park it outdoors in this. Look at what a beautiful day this is. So I got the sunshine and the blue skies, and my seat is a warm one. Up here on the control panel, or the dash, you've got the infotainment center, which has AM, FM, CB. It has Bluetooth. It has a navigation. You can operate it through these buttons here, or it's a touch screen. You could swipe on it. You also have the controls here. You have your radio control over here. It's fork lock. You can lock the fork, unlock it. If it's in this straight up position, it will not start. You have to have it over here to start it. You got your fuel gauge here. You've got your speedo, your tach, and then your voltmeter over here. It has a nice place to put sunglasses. I keep my night clear glasses in there. I keep my registration and my insurance cards over here, and an extra pair of sunglasses there in case the lady friend doesn't have one. Now, I haven't taken a passenger on this, and I don't know if I will, but we'll talk about that a little later. This is the fuel. Push down the button, pop it up, and there's your fuel cap there. It just clicks shut. A lot of chrome on this, you know, and I like this. Got an outlet there for a helmet mic. The passenger also has a jack over here for her helmet mic, so you can communicate back and forth. This bike has stereo speakers up here, and it also has 2 in the back. Now, I will say this, and this is my observations on riding this thing. When you have the radio on, or the stereo, if you're going maybe 35 mile an hour, it's fine, you can hear it okay. But you're not usually going to hear these back speakers, so you don't get the full spectrum of sound. It's a little tinny. If I turn my head sideways, then I get the rear speakers too, and you know, I can hear the full stereo sound. But anything over 50 miles an hour, you have to really almost crank it up full blast to be able to hear it. You'll be able to recognize all the songs, but to hear the good stereo sound, it comes because of the wind and everything. You're going to lack some of the quality of sound on it, and that's my thing anyway. So at higher speed, I just turn the sound all the way off. I just mute it because if I can't hear good quality music, I'm not just going to have it blasting away just for the heck of it. So yeah, it does have a hydraulic clutch, so there's no clutch cable. It's all operated on hydraulics. It does have cruise control. You can set the cruise control by lifting this lever up, or you can click it down to slow down your speed. You can adjust your speed, you know, going up or down. This is your engine on and off, so you click that on, and that'll fire everything up. Everything comes to life up here. You'll see the navigation screen comes up, and then the first thing that pops up is a warning not to use the navigation screen when you're riding it on the road, and you have to push the accept, you know. And then right now I have the radio screen on there. So that's a start mode, and then this will start it by pushing down on this button. This is your hazard lights up here. You can't operate this bike at all without the key fob. So you see I got this key fob here, no buttons on it, it's just a plain fob. This one, oops, sorry. This one, you can lock the ignition with the key, and you can lock the bike by hitting the lock button, or you can hit the unlock button, which unlocks everything. The luggage, Once you hit the lock button, you cannot get the luggage open. It's got this big open trunk area here on the back. Got a pouch here with all your manuals and everything. Some little pouches here. It came with some wet ones in this pouch. I would carry a bottle of water, my helmet, my vest, and of course my kickstand pad. It also has these two bags on each side. You can open it by lifting this lever. They come off just by unscrewing these two wing nuts, and those can come off. Push down to lock it. A nice feature. There's also underneath here a little LED light that lights up your bags at night so you can see real good. Right here you also have radio controls for the passenger if she wants to, you know, do some backseat controlling. The passenger pegs on here, or the passenger pads, originally were way up here, and they wouldn't move back very far from where they were because there's like a stop mechanism down here on the hinge where it only goes so far. So I had to flip-flop them and move this one, or this bracket, over to the other side and move that one over here to get it where I could move it back farther. So it was just kind of a flip-flop thing on those. It does have the forward highway pegs. I still have to move these forward. They're too far back for me. It's really not much of a difference for my feet to be here than to have them here. So I'm going to readjust these and move them out much farther where they're more comfortable for me. I mean, the previous owner must have had short legs. That's all I can say. It does have ABS braking. It stops on a dime. It's a heavy bike. Down here, it's got a, one of your typical jacks. I see that thing came out. I'll put that in. In this compartment here, it also has a USB plug where you can plug in a phone charger or something that you need charged. Okay. There. It does have heated hand grips, so you've got, goes all the way up to 6. Right, now that's off, so those will heat up however, whatever temperature you want them to be in colder weather. This little button here, just click that and it just turns on your mileage up here. So if you need to read the mileage and you don't want to start the bike up or turn everything on, you just hit that button and then your trip meter or your odometer, shows up. Trying to remember everything, all the bells and whistles on this. It has these louvers up here in the front, the wind deflectors, and just like an old car with the old triangle vent windows, you can turn these to like blast the air back at you, or you can close them off to shoot the air away. So that's a pretty neat thing. I did notice on this bike when I'm riding it, because of the exhaust pipes, my right leg here, there's a lot of heat coming off right here. So turning that vent and blowing some of that air away can make a little bit of a difference. Now, one thing I will say, this bike is a highway bike. It's made for the highway. It's made for cruising, for high-speed cruising. You can go 80 miles an hour on this thing all day long in a world of comfort. I mean, you could just ride on this thing for hours. It's like sitting in your car. It's like the same comfort level as being in your car. One of the big problems I have with this bike is getting on and off the thing. Now, I do know, that my usual mount is to come over here flip down this passenger peg, and I can step up here and swing my leg over and settle down on the seat, and then flip that up when I'm ready to ride. I'll be 71 this year though, and my legs don't move like they used to. I can't lift my legs up, you know, like a friggin' ballerina. So getting on and off is very difficult. Getting off, just swinging my leg over, trying to clear this. My foot actually kind of slides over the top of that when I'm dismounting. The only other option is to, again, stand up on the passenger pad and try to swing your leg over that way. But again, my legs don't lift that high anymore, and it can be a little difficult getting on and off of the thing. The other thing I will tell you about this bike, with the fairing on the front and the travel pack on the back, it's very top heavy. If you are to, you know, lean this thing over, you're going to have a little bit of trouble lifting it up. In most cases, you might have to have somebody give you a hand. And I know, you know, people will tell you all kinds of tricks to lifting these things up if you drop them over. But I don't think they've ever tried lifting an Ultra Limited that's loaded to the gills, that has stuff in the trunk. That's probably around 900 pounds, and that's a lot of weight. Now, when these go over, they don't go all the way over. They'll rest on the crash bars here. So, you know, they don't like lay all the way over flat on the side. And as soon as it tips to a certain level, it'll automatically shut the motor down. You don't have to turn it off. It shuts itself off. And then it'll just kind of lay over at a 45-degree angle. And even then, it's a bear to get back up on its wheels again. They don't do very well in off-road situations, such as my gravel driveway. It can be a little squirrely in the gravel, and especially when you go to put your feet down. My Fat Boy sets a little bit lower than this, so when I put my feet down on this, I'm almost to the extent of my reach with my feet to be flat on the ground. When I'm on my Fat Boy, I have, maybe it's just the way the saddle is, I don't know, but my feet comfortably go on the ground, and I feel a lot more stable. On this, coming to a stop, you know, if it's just leaned a little bit one way or another, one of my feet is almost off the ground. So I have to be, you know, I have to think and use a little bit of discretion when I come to a stop, especially in this loose gravel. So what I did here is I tightened up my gravel driveway here where I pull the bikes in by raking some concrete in here and hosing it down. And now, you know, it's like it's concrete now. So you'll see my kickstand isn't sinking into the gravel at all there. It's on solid ground. Before I did this, I'd put the kickstand down, and the bike would lean so far over because that kickstand would sink down in the gravel. And then I got back on it, and it was like, you know, lifting weights trying to get it back up again. So a very top heavy bike, and you have to keep that in mind when you're riding it. And like I said, with a top heavy bike like that, you don't want to be going off road with it, because you know, even if you're going in the grass and on uneven ground, and you get, you know, to where you have to put a foot down, you know, like some people do. I haven't had that situation yet, but I could see it would be easy for it to go over at slow speeds. My driveway is a little tricky to negotiate because where the tires go, it's kind of ditched there. So you have to stay right in the tire track there. I don't usually ride in the center where the grass is, because that can be slippery. If you give it any throttle at all and the grass is wet, you know, you're going to fishtail a little bit, and I don't want to do that on this bike. So I stay in the gravel. I come up the driveway. I pull up here and stop. Then I have to open the garage, get back on the bike, pull it in and park it. I am getting a garage door opener installed here, and it was funny because I purchased a garage door opener through Home Depot with the installation, and that was a couple weeks ago. And the guy finally came out yesterday to install it. He was like 3 hours late, so he didn't get here till late afternoon, almost 4:30 when he arrived. And he gets out of his truck and he's like looking at my door, and he goes, "You know what? You got an 8-foot door and I only got a bracket for a 7-foot door." He says, "I don't have the right bracket." So he said, "I can't install it." I was like, "You gotta be kidding me." So yeah, he picked up the wrong bracket. So now I gotta go back to Home Depot and get that straightened out, and who knows when they're gonna finally get my garage door opener in. But that way when I come in on the bike, I can just hit the garage door opener. Garage door opens and I don't even have to stop. I can go right back in. Right now it's kind of a pain in the neck because I got to stop. I got to dismount off the bike, open the garage door, come back on, get back on the bike, pull it in, and get off the bike again. I'd rather just do it in one shot. Pull in, park it, get off the bike, and be done. So that's the plan for the future here. Other than that, I don't know what to tell you. These... it was suggested, you can put stereo speakers down here too. Not with this, because your cooling system runs through these and the air is vented out through here. There's a fan that blows the air out here to keep the engine cool. These are water-cooled heads too, I forgot to mention on this unit. So that's another plus, keeps the engine a little bit cooler. It still gets pretty warm when you're out riding though. Today, even though the weather's beautiful and we have a blue sky, I left this morning just like this, and it was chilly. We're getting one more week of August, and then we're into September already. And then October, and the temperatures really start to drop. Sometimes you can still be riding into November, as long as they don't throw salt on the road. But after that, you get towards the end of November, after around Thanksgiving, and one little snow and they'll start throwing that salt brine down, and my bikes aren't going out after that. I used to take them out and ride in the winter time, but the salt did a number on my fat boy and I just quit doing it. I got all the salt rinsed off of it and I've kept it that way now, and I definitely don't want salt on this one. When I bought this one, it was like absolutely immaculate, not a scratch on it, like a brand new motorcycle, about a little over 30,000 miles on it, and it still runs fantastic. It still looks good. I can't promise I'm going to keep it that way though. I mean, whoever owned it before took primo care of it. You'll see there's some bug splatters on here, some dust, just from riding, and I just haven't taken the time to wash it. I know some people wash their bike every time they go out riding. They bring it in, they wash it, and then they put it away. I don't have a hose bib out here anyway. My hose is way over there. I do have a 100-foot hose in the garage over here. I could string it all the way down here and wash it right here. And, but then it's just, you know what? It just takes a little time, because then you got to drag the hose out. And when you're done, you got to put the hose away. And, yeah, whatever. I'll get it figured out one of these days. Well, there you go. That's the best that I can tell you on the review of the bike. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try to answer them. I'm definitely not an expert on the thing, but I have been riding it a lot, and the fat boy's been sitting there pretty much most of the time. I think I took it out one time, and I was just like, wow, what a difference, what a huge difference. So this thing is a lot more powerful with the 6-speed transmission. It gets up and goes. But like I said, it loves the highway. It doesn't like the back roads that much, although, it can handle it. But when you get out on the highway, that's where it wants to live. and it does a fantastic job of it too. So will travel be in my future with this thing? I mean, long distance travel. I haven't really considered anything yet. Well, I would say I have considered it, but I really haven't planned anything yet. But yeah, I might do that. I might pick up some new camping gear, because it's been years since I've done it. I think my camping gear is kind of outdated. I can load the bike up and hit the road and maybe do a little road trip somewhere. That sounds like fun. Well, cats, thanks for joining me today, and I appreciate all your company. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your comments and your suggestions. Till next time, cats, I'm going to put the girl away and head in the house, so I'll catch you all later.